Oh, is this your first rodeo?
I think
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy,
I'm Mr. Magazine.
and it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And today we started out with something that you liked about as much as you did last week's kerosene.
It tastes about the same.
It was Santori Japanese Whiskey Toki.
Right.
Yeah, say that 5 times fast.
Mhm.
And I want to give a shout out to a good friend of the channel, Primetime Treasure Hunter, and his live show after ours. Check him out today as it's 5 random resellers hanging out.
All right.
Here we go. We got a couple of random resellers hanging out here. You got
Yeah,
at
here
least
we go.
5 in the feed
Yeah.
over here. So
All right.
we're pretty much stealing his thunder.
All right. Let's see who's up to bat. We got Michael number 1, always in the house first. Michael number 2, he's in second today. Pudding's postcards, see the lights, the lovely Lori. Williams here, and have fun flipping like always.
Very good. See a couple of new names over there. So I definitely do appreciate that. Maybe I actually did my job today.
Oh,
That's a
about
first.
time. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, you have one job, talk.
All right. Well, I did a different job.
Oh,
I actually put up an Instagram for this. So hopefully a few people came over because of that.
What's Instagram?
It's some hot new thing that the kids, us kids do.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, pretty soon I'll be doing a TikTok too.
Nice.
Hey, do you know this is live show number 37?
Wow, feels like 112.
And that's just tonight.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for coming aboard. Last week was another fun show. Got a really good topic today. And believe it or not, we've got good topics. Well, believe it or not, we've got good topics the next couple of weeks, but I've actually charted out what they're going to be, which I
Nice.
never do.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you about that a little later, but why don't we get the show rolling? A few more people
All right.
came in. You can say hello to them. And
All right. Hello to Joe Losi. Thanks for coming along, buddy. And the lovely Don, like always. Hey, hey, hey.
there we go. So get the show kicked off in the normal fashion. Tell everybody out there, how are your sales doing? You pick anything up. Always like to know how the sales are going. And I'm going to make a guess. I'm going to guess that the people out there are going to tell me the sales are not that good. So let me know that or not. And the reason why I'm going to say that, and this is kind of frightening, actually, if you stop and you think about it, I got a 5% eBay bucks offer 3 days during the middle of Christmas season.
Wow.
And should they be making that offer to me during Christmas season? You would hope not.
If I could sing, I'd be singing Desperado right now.
You would hope that they don't need to do that. You would hope
No,
that they're doing well enough on the site that, you know, hey, that's something you do in the doldrums of March. And you say, hey, here's something a little special for you in March. But if they're having to drive sales now, it's making me think that they're looking at the numbers and they're not going to hit their numbers in the fourth quarter.
No shot.
And it's scary to me. So let me know how
maybe because they got rid of the adult section. Go on.
that could be part of the reason. Yes. And they got rid of one of the biggest card sellers back
That is true.
2.5 months ago too.
I think that seller did more sales in the adult section combined.
So do let us know how your sales are going, and why don't you let us know how your sales are going?
Well, I'm going to say eBay is steadily average, so I'm not going to complain. I expect that, but then it's like anything else. I've said it before. If I'm putting some heavy duty items on, I'm going to get higher sales, so it goes with the territory. But Amazon still, it's a freight train. We're just plowing through every day, 500 orders. So yeah, I can't argue with that. You know, we're pretty much caught up every day. Maybe a few items behind, but for the most part, we're pumping out 500.
All right, just so everybody out there can understand this a little bit. How long does it take to print 500 orders?
So I came up with this great idea for my assistant manager to help me print while he's at home. We worked out.
I thought you were going to say you took this great idea to go to Aruba and let everybody else deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. But he's been helping out. He's probably doing 50 to 75% of the printing, which is helping me out. But generally, I have to say it's almost got to be an hour per 100. By the time you just print it
and
sort
collate
it, staple it, and so forth. So maybe not 5 hours for the 500, but at least 3 to 4 hours easily. It seems like that's excessively long, but really, I don't know how you can cut it down much more than that.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
so you've got 4 hours a day, literally into printing.
Right.
And if you figure $15 an hour, by the time you figure out benefits, unemployment and all the different charges on it, you're spending $60 a day just in printing orders. And that's not counting printer ink. That's not counting anything at all like that.
Because I'm doing at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours of printing. He's doing an hour to an hour and a half. So yeah, we're doing about 4 hours between the two of us, you know.
And that's just on Amazon.
Oh, Amazon and eBay combined.
Amazon.
Yeah,
eBay
so
combined.
For everything combined, it's, you know, eBay orders are probably 100. Amazon's probably 400, roughly, daily on that.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So we took a little bit of a side trip over there, but I
Yeah.
just kind of was curious about that. See a few more people have shown
Alright.
up over here.
Oh, Angela H is in. Oh, I forgot William Curtin's here. How's it going? He said dead. So,
Yeah.
that's the going rate right now. Lovely Angela's here. Sensible treasures like always. And we are ready to rock.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. 50% on average of 4 months.
Yeah,
Oh,
brutal.
I'm not quite that far down, but it is.
But that could be the norm. Like that could be, it's not you. That's just the norm, and you can't do much about it.
Right. And I think a lot of, obviously a lot of it depends on what we're selling. I don't think anybody that we're talking, we certainly don't.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody out there is selling, Christmas ornaments.
Right.
Well, then again, they'd be down right now anyway, because you can't get your
Yeah.
Christmas ornament in time for Christmas. But, we're not selling the hot new stuff. We're selling older stuff that generally isn't going to be bought a lot for Christmas.
Right.
One thing that I always go into the seller hub, and first thing I look at is I look at my sales. And I look at the graph, and I'm not usually a graph person. I usually like numbers as opposed to graphs. But the graph is a very quick way when you see, the high rises, and then you see the low days, and you see the high rises again, and it's just kind of a little lower than it was about. Well, it's a 30-day graph, so it's a little lower than it was about 25 days ago, but not crazy lower right now.
Right.
I will say this though: this past weekend was abysmal. It was a horrible weekend for eBay. I mean, absolutely horrible. I had one day where I did under $100 in sales.
Yeah.
I think I sold 5 items in one day, which with 17,000 items, you would expect to sell more than 5. It was just a terrible weekend.
Right.
Today wasn't bad. Yesterday was but the day before, Monday, I guess it wasn't too bad. So it's just kind of it's where it is. But here's the whole thing too. Again, we are not selling Christmas items. And the window's closed pretty much on getting the stuff in time for Christmas. I think you can get through the end of the week. You can still get stuff for Christmas.
Yeah, but our Christmas, we started a little too late, but we're still getting them on. We're doing 5-day auctions, hopefully to get it, squeeze it in just in time, you know. The problem with eBay, like for me, I've been buying all this high-end stuff, high-end sports cards, $100 cards, $1,000 cards, and I got all this money tied up. I'm telling my employees to get this high-price stuff on. The problem is no one's paying high-price prices for these cards right now. So it's probably the wrong time to put them on. I just want to put them on to feel like, hey, we're buying these cards. They're not sitting around. Let's get them on. The problem is I'm getting these crazy low offers on them. So unfortunately for me, it's not the right time to sell them.
Well, again, you can't sell them when they're sitting in a box unlisted.
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to. At least
they're up there, and if you wait long enough, someone will make a reasonable offer. I'm not going to sell them for $500. I'm asking $5. I'm not going to get $5. I might get $4 or $4.50, and I'll pull the trigger. But I'm getting $200 offers, like half or less, and it's discouraging a little bit. So,
well, that's one thing too. When you do run through the Instagram feed, I know, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody on there. It was actually a Pure Hustle podcast had on there a San Diego Padres old school baseball cap, and I can't remember what he got out of it. He got a couple of $100 out of it at least, and he said you got to hold out because he got a lot of crazy low offers on it first thing, and it took a few months, but then he ended up getting his price out of it. So you definitely do have to hold out. If it's good stuff, it's good stuff. That's what it comes down to.
But the cards are so volatile too, so that's the problem. And then, another thing too is, say I'm holding on to this $500 card for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and someone offers me a little less. Sometimes I may want to just flip it, say, hey, I may break even or make a few bucks, but now I can take that money and put it into something better.
Sensible. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Absolutely.
It's good that some people out there are doing well. Oh, wow. 10% last month. I mean, best quarter ever. Wow.
Can't argue with that.
Well, we're doing something wrong, obviously. It's good, though. It's good, though, that some people out there are doing very, very well. Again, we're not. Hopefully, a lot of eBay gift cards will be bought. Yeah, that would help us. That would definitely help us.
For sure.
Any buys this week?
How many hours do we have? It's getting ridiculous. I feel like word's out that I'm the only one buying at this point, but it's like every day I'm buying large collections of, 500, 1,000, 2,000. I got a guy bringing me high-end comics, another guy bringing me, Hess trucks and toys. I got a potential. I just told you about this potential deal in the works where there's 3,000 pieces of models, toy cars, trains, you name it. So we're working on that. That'll be awesome. I think there's really good stuff in there. But yeah, it's nonstop with cards, boxes of cards, high-end single cards. So, and I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm addicted, and I'm buying them daily. So How about you?
Thank you.
Wow. I knew I was forgetting something.
So I went to an estate sale this past week, primarily because it was on my street.
Oh, wow. So you walked there?
It was a little far for that, but it was on my street. Drove up over there, kind of went through the place, and found a few things there that I wanted. And we actually did a video about it that'll be coming out sometime soon. I'll give a bit of a preview of what the video was about. There was a gentleman there who was talking into his phone in order to get prices out of stuff. So put Mr. Magazine on the spot in the video and asked him what he would do in that case, and then mentioned what I did as well. But I ended up picking up a few things. And this was an estate sale dealer that's willing to deal. So he wanted $2 a piece for hardcovers, $1 a piece for soft covers. And there were a lot of German language books there. So I said to him, I said, hey, maybe I'm going to come by tomorrow and we can work a deal out on the stuff. And he said, yeah, because, he obviously didn't want to sell the stuff and not keep it. And he said, oh yeah, come by. So the next day I came by right, 5 minutes after it opened with the banker box, and I filled the banker box to the top with German language books. And I found the guy running the sale, and I said, what do I owe you? And he goes, I don't know. What do you want to pay? I go, I don't know. And he goes, how about $10? And a lot of these are small books and all that kind of stuff. So I probably picked up, I'm going to guess 35 to 40 German language books for $10, back into the 1920s through like the 1940s or 50s, probably. Going to be a pain to list, but you can't help but make money when you're paying 20 to 25 cents a book. And the other thing is, I'm not a German book expert, believe it or not.
Wow.
I know, it is shocking. So there's something good in there. And I'm sure a lot of the other people who were at the sale were not German book experts either. So again, that's one of those opportunities that when it's around and you got somebody willing to deal, take advantage of it. I'll learn German books. I've got a lot of German books and magazines up. When I list them all, even if it doesn't sell any of these German books, it'll sell some German magazine that I had listed years ago, and I'm into it for $10. So you can't possibly lose money on that deal.
Very cool.
Oh, hey, what's up, East Coast Thrifter? We're up in upstate New York. You can say Rochester.
Yeah, I don't know. All of a sudden, he doesn't want to talk.
Upstate sounds so much more mysterious. Oh, are they up in Saratoga? Or are they up in Buffalo?
Yes, he's looking for vagueness. Yes. So for cash and cash or checks, it usually is cash. I'll prefer a check, and then they'll say they prefer cash, and then I'll get the cash. But it's probably 60-40 cash to check. Either which way, I'll do what it takes to get it.
Oh, actually, well, we'll see what Dawn. Click on Dawn. You haven't said hi to Dawn, or you said hi to her, but you didn't.
Yeah, you know me too well by now. Yeah. I love buying, like Papergoy loves German books.
Or talking.
Well, we know that. I don't love it that much, please.
Oh, wow. Wow. You better hope I talk, because if I'm sitting here like this show.
Yeah. It'll be a silent movie.
Train wreck.
Mel Brooks.
Little trivia here, rambling story of the early trivia. Do you know there was one person that spoke in a silent movie? Do you know who it was?
I'm going to get this wrong. Yeah, the pantomime.
There you go. Yeah. Marcel Marceau was the only person that spoke in that movie.
Yeah.
That is kind of funny when you get down to it.
Genius.
Do hit the thumbs up, of course. We would definitely appreciate that. Actually have some fairly big news. I should probably not say this because I think somehow or other I'm going to get tapped on this one at some point. But so I spent Monday afternoon in the bank.
Wow, the whole afternoon.
About an hour after work. Spent an hour in the bank.
All right. Why?
Thank you. This really comes natural to you.
Thank you.
Wait till we start doing interviews. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, goodness.
Actually got a home equity line of credit.
Wow.
So I've got some funds available to me should a deal come along.
Oh, I thought you were saying in case a friend needs a big loan for a big collection.
Unfortunately, that's what I think it's going to wind up being. But in case a big deal comes along. And I know that a good friend of the channel, Auction Professor, always talks about, getting your tax ID number, getting your business set up with business accounts and all that sort of thing so that you can get a loan from the bank. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. An alternative is if you're able to get a home equity line of credit, I can tap into it. they're going to give me checks so I can write against it. So
Nice.
literally once I get that, I can close the deal in the amount of time it takes me to write a check out.
Can I make a suggestion how
Sure.
to invest the money? Seeing you have an overwhelming large inventory storage unit, then you can grow and buy more. Because if you can buy a lot more with the money now, where are you putting it? So now you need to get a storage unit and fill it up.
Buy a storage unit, not rent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to rent one because then you wind up in that whole
Then
thing
you're
where
stuck, you're stuck like me. Yeah.
where you're spending $150, $200 a month
True.
to store $10,000 worth of stuff, and then 4 years later, when it's not listed, you say, "Hey, wait a minute! I spent as much money as this stuff's worth."
Well, you may be forced. So say you buy a big collection, say 30, 40,000 magazines, all German.
Oh,
you can't say no.
Oh, I can't say no to that.
And you have nowhere to put it. So now you have to
for
get
$20.
Yeah, you have to get that storage unit, even if it's short term, until you buy your own storage unit. That's how it works.
There you go. Thank you.
I know.
You do know. Yeah, that's true. The auctions professor does speak German. That is indeed true.
Yeah. So was Val Kilmer in that movie?
Spies Like Us, was that? Or no?
I forget what it was, but he wanted a schnauzer with his wiener schnitzel.
Well, who doesn't? Who really doesn't when you get right down to it? Couple of other things going on over here.
Hold on, Don the Enforcer's in the house. How's it going?
Hey, Don, what's going on? Oh, you want to thank everybody out there. You probably, I don't think you watch our channel, but if you did, Monday you would have seen a bonus haul video. There's a lot of fun.
I see it live.
There you go. That is true.
Hold on a second. That's like asking, like, Tom Cruise, have you seen your movie? Like, have you seen Mission Impossible 3? Like, he's going to go into the movie theater, sit down with some popcorn and start watching it. Come on, please. Okay,
it would be funny if he was doing that, but he did it like Robert De Niro in Cape Fear.
or Pee Wee Herman. Well, Pee Wee Herman does watch his own movies.
But a lot of people did like that, and I'm going to try to bring you more of that next year, more haul videos where I go kind of a deep dive into what I bought and why.
All right.
Just because a lot of people did like that, and a lot of other channels aren't offering that. You know, they'll just show you the stuff they bought. Look what I bought, but not explain the psychology behind the buying.
Well, just like that card one I did with the red Coke trays. That was pretty good. I thought it was fun.
Yeah. But again, it's the psychology behind it that I think helps people, because you know, I show you, oh, look what I got. It's almost like I'm bragging. I say, look what I got. Here's why I bought it. Here's something to look out for if you find it. I think that actually helps people. So that's going to kind of be one of the goals for next year. Definitely.
Well, and that worked out for me when I looked at that collection we're talking about with the 3,000 models and the toy cars and the trains. You know, I went in there. It took me like 20 minutes. I did a rough count and I came up with a price. It's like, wow, how did you did that fast? I go, well, it's so much a piece. I got an estimate, you know, and I do that with everyone. They're shocked to, like, you know, it makes sense, my number to them, you know, when I explain it. So it's a good feeling to have. I'm not trying to screw them. I put time into it. I try to crunch the numbers, and, you know, and they feel good about that then.
Well, and I'll be honest. That is one thing that you are much better at than me, is being able to digest a big deal. And I'm not saying be able to buy it and be able to disseminate it through to your workers and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying not being overwhelmed when you walk in and you look at it.
Right.
Because that is a problem that I have. I start looking at all the stuff and I say, and I have no idea at all where to start at. Whereas you've done it more often and often enough that you can break it right down quickly and come up with a price. Whereas I'm like, I don't know, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. They all could be reasonable. I don't have any idea whatsoever, because I don't even know where to start, because I'm so overwhelmed with stuff.
Right.
I was thinking I could buy the entire storage unit, like buy the facility.
There you go. Yeah, you can rent a bunch to me for sure.
There you go. Got that going.
We use your line of credit to loan me the money, so then I can rent them from you. See, thinking ahead.
You are thinking ahead.
Two steps ahead.
You are thinking ahead on that one over there. So no sales on Viv's Views, no sales on Etsy. I have really done it 3 weeks in a row? No sales during Christmas. Yeah, it's a slow time of year. Reminds me of the movie Spinal Tap. Don't worry, Boston's not a big college town, so Christmas isn't a big shopping season. Don't worry about it. But I did sell 3 items on $million.dollar.peddlers, so we got that going for us.
We made up for it,
Yeah,
thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. I do try.
There you go. that is one of the tougher things. And that's another thing that I'd like to get into a little more next year. Unfortunately, the problem that we have on the channel is that I've got the day job and I'm busy and you're busy.
Yeah.
but I would almost like to sit down at some point and do a whole video with you where we kind of break the things down into what you bought, why you paid what you paid for it,
Right.
kind of deal. But the other problem with that is a lot of times you do these haul videos at somebody's house.
Yeah.
Well, they don't really want us walking around with a camera, and
True.
you don't want to be paying people to be talking to me, because obviously, you want to get the stuff loaded up and home, as opposed to, oh yeah, we're all going to be doing interviews for the next half hour. So it's a cross purpose as to what you're trying to do as well.
Stop the presses.
Okay.
I'm really not happy about this.
Oh.
Push.
Oh.
All right, so my next chess move is going to be, I will start, my New Year's resolution will be Instagram. That is my goal right now. I'm kind of forced. Don forced me into it. I'll have to do it. I might go. They have study classes online. I can learn how to do Instagram. Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Difficult.
You got to start somewhere.
All right. I'm going to give everybody out there a primer on Instagram. You go to the app, you click post.
Oh, okay. Well, easier said than done.
There you go.
You know what we should do? You know what? Let's do this. Next time we film at the warehouse,
okay,
I film you doing it.
Okay, that is fair.
And then I can learn how to do it that way.
There, that is fair.
All I got to do is do it once. It's that simple, right?
Oh, fifth quarter. We're going into overtime this year.
Yeah.
Hey, John. Good to see you. Good to see you here. Couple of other little things. Getting stuff for Ohio to California in 2.5 days. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Like the Cannonball Run, you can get it there in like a day.
Yeah.
Couple of things. Random neighborhood kid is actually taking electricity in school, learning how to be an electrician.
I can tell. Have you seen his hair? Holy cow.
Actually, he's been doing some work around the house now, so that's good. So he's going to be doing a little bit of work, construction work around this year. So we're going to be shooting the videos of the basement, and hopefully he's got the thing down there looking nice by the time we end up shooting the videos. So good for him.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm waiting for some lights to flicker around here.
You better hope he gets good. Then he can help you over at the store in the warehouse for that over there. So shout out to Random Neighborhood Kid. Thank you very much for that. And next week is going to be a potentially difficult show.
Hold on. Can you hold this? Because I keep forgetting. Were you in the text thread about the holiday party?
I was.
Oh, okay. Sure. You didn't respond, though.
I have not responded because I am not certain if I'm going yet or not. We're not sure what our plans are this weekend, so I didn't want to commit one way or the other.
Just making sure. Let's move on.
Okay, there you go. Well, why don't you tell everybody what you're having?
Well, we have an annual, I'm going to call it Leone's Holiday Brunch at the warehouse. All the employees, friends, and family come along. Well, family for the most part. But we have all kinds of pasta, veal French, greens and beans, pizza, wings, the whole kit and caboodle. And I get enough leftovers that my wife doesn't have to cook for a week. So it works out well.
There you go. But it's kind of an employee benefit type deal as well.
Absolutely.
And it's an annual type event. So it's very nice. Thank you very much. But next week, Wednesday, we have our live show, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And before that, I'm actually getting my COVID booster shot.
Oh, nice.
So I've got the next day off of work, and hopefully I'm not, if I'm out of it next week, that's the reason why. So I'm letting you know in advance.
All right.
So I've got an excuse for a poor performance next week.
And I'll be bringing your Christmas present and bonus next week.
Oh, very nice. Open it up on air, so that'll be nice. And next week we are, tonight the show is about should you chase the shiny new thing. Next week, and I think this will tie into, I'll give you a little bit of a preview. It'll tie into my next comment I'm going to be making, is your eBay store is not a garage sale. And I think that that's really, really important. And I think it's going to be a fun show next week talking about that, because I think that you run into far too many customers who don't understand that and don't appreciate that. Sure. For instance, right before we came on air, I got a $5 offer on a $29 book, a first edition children's book that I'm asking $29 with free shipping. I got a $5 offer on it. I didn't pick it up at a garage sale. I picked it up at an estate sale. I paid $1 for it. So essentially I would end up, after fees, I'd lose money, but I'd end up breaking even. So this person wants to pay me garage sale prices on it.
Well, and here's a scary thing because you offer free shipping.
Mhm.
So let's say I'm going to guess the lowest you probably would want to take is like $15.
Probably a little higher than that on it
Well,
because it is a first
oh, yeah.
edition, et
So
cetera, et cetera.
let's say
Yep.
you would take 15. He's offering you a third of your lowest price that you would take.
Yep.
That's so insulting. I mean, it's just crazy to me.
Yep. So the 22nd, your eBay store is not a garage sale. The 29th, we're going to do our look forward to 2022, which is where all of you have your homework. Get your goals ready for 2022. And we're going to discuss them on that show. And then guess what we're doing January 5th?
I'm trying to think about the following week because I can't do it on the 11th. We're good. I have something going on the 11th.
Well, good, because the 12th is, I believe, Wednesday, isn't it?
Right, yeah. So
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to look back on 2021.
Okay.
So, yes, we're literally looking at our entire show. We're doing this. It'll be a lot of fun. People will love that.
Have our backs.
Yeah, so you sound like a bad Sports Illustrated cover. Yogi's back. So we've actually got shows planned out for the next few weeks, believe it or not. I get constant silly offers. Yep.
I'm scared to that's what eBay's turning into. How does eBay turn this around? If this is happening during Christmas season, can we all be selling junk or garbage? It can't be. I mean, I don't know. I think it's an eBay thing. We'll have to see what happens next year.
Actually, that's good. Keep that thought. Hey, you had a good thought for once. Keep that in mind for next week.
And when I saw this whole adult thing going mid-year, I'm like, even earlier, I've been pushing more to Amazon with everything. I mean, I do get more money for some of the stuff. It's more long tail, but you get more money. You don't have the headaches of the low offers. It's just easier for me.
Well, speaking of low offers, so a gentleman, I had a U.S. News and World Report. Mm-hmm. And I wanted $17 free shipping on it.
Is that the blue magazine?
The magazine? Yeah. So I wanted $17 on it. So the gentleman offers, and it's got free shipping. He offers $8. I counter at 12, and I say it's got free shipping. I got to cover it.
Yeah.
He offers 10. I said shipping has not gone down since your last offer. I need 12. So he emails or, through messages and says, I'm sorry we weren't able to make a deal. Yeah. I said, okay, no problem. Nice, yeah. I said, that's fine. That's
He's got
fine.
His cap, you got your low.
Yep. So 2 weeks later, he offers $8 again. I decline it. He offers $8 again.
Just ban him. He's wasting your time at this point.
I decline it. He offers $7.
Oh, now he's just being rude.
So I ban him.
Yeah.
Well, somehow or other, and it's kind of weird the way eBay works because sometimes you can message people and sometimes you can't if you're banned, I guess.
Right.
Well, he reached out to me and he says, "Oh, it's so funny you want $17. This mag is worth 50 cents at best." So I replied to him and I said, "Well, shipping is more than that. Good luck finding another at your price point. Because I've looked on and this is the only one I can find for sale in the world, but good luck to you finding it for 50 cents.
Right.
And that's kind of what we need to have in mind on this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I agree with Mr. Mag said a few weeks back. Oh, you were listening? The 50% offers are the most insulting to me.
I said it.
Yes, you did. Yes. Well, I if you're listening, Michael, you're going to get a kick out of this one over here. So I had an item, and it was a nice item. It was a probably, I believe it was 1920s. Do you know what a cover is as far as philately? I don't know how to say the word. But do you know what a cover is? It's an envelope. Okay. It's a nice fancy way of saying an envelope.
Okay.
And it was an envelope with some really nice graphics on it for a like a hunting and fur and that kind of thing. Right. Just some beautiful graphics on it from the 1920s. Really, really nice looking item. And so I put that up for auction and I was asking $74 on it because it jumped out at me. It was really, really nice looking. I got the free shipping, et cetera, et cetera. A guy offers me $5 on it. $5 on something. I emailed him and I said, I'm essentially asking $70 plus $4 shipping. Right. You made me an offer of $1 plus $4 shipping. I said, congratulations. You have at this point,
that's the one I was waiting for.
you have made
Yep.
the most insulting offer I ever got. I said, you have offered me 1.5% of value for an item. I said, you made my day because I've never had such
That's
an insulting
laughable.
offer.
Yeah, laughable.
But the key, in my opinion, and this kind of will tie into next week's show as well. Let me write this down so I remember this.
I'm going to tell you what I had problems with the offers, but go ahead.
The key is what I mentioned to him is you offer me 1.5% of value. I didn't say of my price. I didn't say what I'm asking. I said of value because that probably is one of a kind item. There's
Right.
probably not another one out there. It's a beautiful looking item.
Yeah.
So use that to your advantage when you are negotiating. Don't say you're asking this of my price. Just say you're asking this of value.
Yeah.
Because it's certainly, I mean, $5, leaving the shipping out of it.
Yeah.
$5, every person watching this would see that at a sale for $5 and scarf it up and say, this is worth more than $5. This is just really, really striking graphics. So that's kind of a way to counter that. I mean, obviously the guy's not going to make a sale because if he's offering $5, he's not serious about it at all. But that's kind of what you got to get in your head on stuff is it has value. But go ahead. You were going to say about offers.
For the last few months, I've been buying high-end sports cards, rare ones, $100 cards, $1,000 cards, and I'm paying in the 50% range. You have to pay that to get these cards, or these guys aren't going to sell them on their own. I'm figuring the eBay fees and so forth. And then when I go to list them, we put them at the highest Terapeak sold price. So, if I buy a $500 card for $250, it has sold for $500.
So it's not even like you're dreaming. You have high expectations, but you're not dreaming.
Right, or a similar comp. And I know I'm not going to get that 500. Okay. I put things on sale. I take offers. So I know I'm gonna set it for 500, maybe hope to take 450, whatever. What bothers me is 200, 100. Like on these cards, these high-end cards are offering me hundreds of dollars less. It's one thing if I'm selling a $20 magazine and they offer me 10 plus shipping. I may take that if it's been there forever. But again, you're offering me $10 less what I'm asking. This is something, and it's multiple cards all the time, like Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, any of these guys that are Mac Jones. I mean, these are $500 and $1,000 cards, and they're offering me 100, 200, 300. It's like I've never seen anything like this in my life. That's what's frustrating. They think I'm going to take $800 off on a $1,000 card. It's like taking $5 for a $20 magazine, which I wouldn't do that. But at least there's a $10, $15 loss of money there. Where this is hundreds, it baffles my mind. All right, I vented. Moving on.
Okay, well, a lot of people are commenting now, so that's good to see.
See, for auto accept though, you have to do all or nothing, or each one, right? You have to do all or nothing on auto accept. Like every listing, or can I?
Oh yeah. I don't think you can do it. I don't know. I've never tried it. I don't know if you can do
or
percentage.
Can each lister add it in? No, because it's going into my store. So yeah, you can only do it in your store. Whereas I'd have to do all or nothing. So it would be too much of a pain for me to do auto accept because I'm relisting 200 items on a page.
I think the reason why I've never done auto accept is because my lowest acceptable price isn't always my lowest acceptable price.
Right.
Because let's say I've got a $20 magazine free shipping and my lowest price at this moment is $15. But if you want to make me an offer on 10 of them, I would go down to 12.
Right.
If you want to make me an offer 2 years from now on it, I might be at 13. 5 years from now, I might be at 10. So that, and obviously I'm not going to take the time to tweak the auto accept constantly on that over there. So that's probably the reason why I don't do that is because of the flexibility. Mm-hmm. But I guess on the other side, there is, actually, I didn't mention this part too. That guy who offered me $5 on the $74 item, it was also at auction. So he thought he would entice me to end the auction early by offering an entire $5. I mean,
nice.
It is a fin. I mean, if this were 1865, I'd be foolish not to do so.
Another funny story, though, we're going to see Enforcer says everyone's dealing on newer sports cards or they want to deal. I totally get that. But here's a funny story. So this gentleman's been bringing me in these high-end sports cards, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 at a time. He does heavy breaks and stuff. And like I said, I'm paying 50% roughly, for a good juice. I call juice the high-end cards. So he always busts my chops. He wants 60%, 70%. I go, if you can get it more than 50% from somewhere else, taking all of it, God bless you, go for it. And he's been all over town. So he was out of town in Buffalo. and he had a bunch of cards from a break. I don't know if he bought them somewhere, got them in a mail, whatever. So he goes to this card shop, and he thinks there's about 7,000 cards there, but the dealer there went and got comps. He sat down with them, priced them all out. There was $6,000 in sold cards there, what they're equivalent to.
Mhm.
That's what he offered. This dealer offered him
$1,500.
$700.
Oh,
Which is less than a 25%, right? So
that's like 10 or
yeah,
12%.
yeah. So I told him, I go, 50% is looking mighty good right now. I go, I don't want to hear a peep out of you anymore. Yeah.
Wow.
And this was a big dealer in Buffalo, So
Wow.
yeah, everyone's trying to steal cards, obviously. But again, if I don't pay the 50, they'll probably dump them elsewhere for less.
Wow, that's awfully low. Yep. Wow.
Yeah, I agree.
Tom Brady cards.
Yeah.
Bolo. Yep.
Crazy.
That'll probably be Bolo forever. Tom Brady. I think he's one of those
Yeah,
evergreens that we're
absolutely,
talking about over there. Yep. Yep. My dog died. My house burned down. Would you be willing to donate this item?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
We've seen stuff like that. Sure.
That's funny. Yeah, I've never gotten that one from people. I've gotten a lot of people, I work for a not-for-profit. I got one the other day.
Yeah.
Can you give me a deal? I'm a teacher and I pay out of my pocket for stuff. And, and again, that's fine. I'm willing to deal, but I also have my, I didn't say anything snarky for once, but I was thinking to myself, well, here's what I need out of it because, yeah, it's great that you're buying this thing for your classroom out of your pocket, but I got to put a roof over my head as well. We're all people. I'm not a big corporation. I'm not a, Amazon or Walmart that, a $5 difference in price doesn't, it means something to me. It doesn't mean something other to Walmart realistically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with puddings. Yeah. High quality stuff. I'm paying more to get it. And these people, it's easier to deal with, I think, too, to bring the high quality because they want their price. Like this guy bringing me these comics that are, 100, 500,000. I showed you some of them, and it's great stuff. Spider-Man comics and rare stuff. And you have to pay the 50% or even more sometimes. And like this guy selling me, he goes, I paid full price. I have to get half. I mean, how much can I lose? And it makes sense.
Yep. PC gaming hardware is the worst. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. I'm going to get into the main topic in a moment, but we did get a little bit of year-end information from YouTube, and I just wanted to share a couple of things with you. 1.1 million watch time minutes. I believe that's what it says over here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And 84,600 total views on our videos this year. So we definitely want to give a big thank you to everybody out there. We definitely do appreciate it. We would just be talking to ourselves if it weren't for all you out there watching. Sure. And definitely do appreciate it. Hopefully we can continue to bring you great content through the next year. I don't see why we wouldn't. So definitely do thank you. I'm not just saying this. I really do think we have the best audience out there. One of our subscribers was running some numbers off some stuff that I sent him. Actually, he went to a Social Blade and took a look at it. And he said we have a phenomenal number of our subscribers that watch most of our videos that we put out. That we have a lot of interaction with the audience, and it definitely does mean a lot to us. And I do want to take this moment to thank everybody for that. Definitely do appreciate that. We try to, I try to put up a post every day for something a little humorous. I try to be a little humorous on there. Try to answer back, all the comments that you leave. So definitely do appreciate it. Just want to take a moment to say thank you.
Thank
and
you. Yep, absolutely.
Hit the like button.
And
comment down below if you're watching this on the replay, and we will answer you. So thank you very much. Click that like button. There you go. There you go. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Gonna head on into the main topic right now, and that is, should you chase the shiny new thing? Now, when I brought this topic up to you, you mentioned he's not really your competitor at this point. At one point, he was your competitor. He's moved far enough out of what you're selling to really not be your competitor at this point. But you said he's made a career out of that. You brought him off. A local dealer.
Oh, around the corner from me?
No, at the mall.
Oh, that guy. Yes. Okay. Well, there's I know more than one person in my life. Yes, he has made a career out of this. Whether it was the Beanie Babies, the fidget spinners, the yellow bracelets, he's always gotten involved in stuff like that. And he'd set up at these shows, and they'd make announcements over the loudspeaker. Your shipment came in, and without, if Beanie Babies were hot, he'd get 1,000 Beanie Babies delivered to that show, and that's what he did. And good for him. He's always making a killing when striking when the iron's hot, which he's smart in that aspect. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's been around for
forever. Yeah.
Yep. So what are your opinion on going after the hot new thing?
Well, I have not gone. I've always not missed a boat, but caught it midstream. So, Beanie Babies, I never got into. I guess I saw it coming, and by the time I wanted to get into it, I figured it would be a waste to get into at this point. And then fidget spinners definitely proved my point. I bought like 1,000 of them. My kid was loving them. He was little at the time, loving fidget spinners. And then 2 days later, it's like they crashed. I put a bunch of them in my vending machine at the laundromat for $1 a piece, and I couldn't even get my money back on them. But now I'm obsessed with these sports cards. I don't know what it is. I just think these rare cards are very cool, and I've always missed the boat on them. And now I have an opportunity to get a lot of them from these sellers. And to me, that's my shiny new thing. I probably shouldn't be buying them because I have so much inventory. And when I go to sell them, if you think about it, I buy a $500 card for $250. I throw it up for $500, and I get a $375 offer. I'm fronting, $250 to make what, $50? I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, it doesn't seem worth it, but it's, I enjoy doing it at this point. So I don't know.
Well, the other part with that too is, you might be making $50, but you're also taking a lot of risk. It gets lost in the mail. This happens, that happens, kind of deal. So you are taking risks for that $50.
And right now we're not getting it on fast enough where some of these cards could drop in value. The player can get injured. Could be numerous amount of things, or the card market could just crash like it's done before, and then I'm really in trouble. But I have the money coming in. I'm reinvesting it. I don't know. I enjoy it. I guess it's a business collectible obsession I have at this point. But we'll see how it goes.
See, and I think that chasing the shiny new thing is not necessarily a bad thing, but it doesn't work for me. I was talking a little before the show with a friend of the channel, Pure Hustle Podcast, and I was saying they do retail arbitrage. You have to chase the shiny new thing if you're doing that. You absolutely have to. The hot product is whatever. Years ago, it was Furby. Well, you've got to chase the Furbies because, or the Tickle Me Elmo, or the whatever it is, because that's what people want. Right. And I can't go, especially with FBA, if I took my inventory that I have right now and I shipped it off to FBA, I'd be bankrupt in no time at all with the storage fees, because I don't chase the shiny new thing.
Yeah.
And the stuff I buy, I mean, it just doesn't lend itself to that. One of the disadvantages of the shiny new thing is, well, you can get caught holding the bag, as a lot of people did with Pogs, or a lot of people did with Beanie Babies.
Yep.
Another problem with it is you got to put a lot more money out. I mean, I bought an entire, as I mentioned earlier in the show, I bought an entire banker box of old German books for $10.
Yeah.
You're not buying any shiny new thing for $10 for an entire box full of them. You're just not doing it, because just by definition, it's the hot, shiny new thing.
Right.
Not that this is a shiny new thing, but what were a couple of the comic books that you bought today that you showed me?
They were rare, like Venom and Spider-Man variant covers. They were anywhere from $250 to $600.
And one of them was Miles Moreno on the cover.
Or Miles Morales.
Or Miles Morales.
Oh, you mean Rita Moreno, because she's in West Side Story.
Yes.
The remake too. Yeah, both of them, the original and the remake.
There
Good for
you go.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
That's spicy number. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was meant. But did you know that the comics you bought were good before he brought them out?
And he brought me more of this stuff over the. I mean, I probably spent a couple grand on, and I collect this stuff, so that's why I like buying it. I'm buying stuff from my collection at 50%, which is really cool. It's good for us. But if he came in with these, or some stranger came in with these,
he didn't mention what they were. He just goes, "I've got these. Make me an offer."
If anyone came a stranger, and then I would pay $100. I wouldn't even, without looking them up. To me, they'd be. I have no clue on it. I'm out of touch with this stuff.
Yep.
I know there's some rare ones, but like he was telling me, there's 100 variants for one issue, and like this comic industry's really taken off. It's crazy.
Right, and that's another problem with chasing the hot new thing is not that we don't have to do research, but we have to do a lot of times, especially in the things that I deal in, because you deal in different things than I deal in a
Mhm.
lot of times. But certainly the things that I deal in, my research is generally done after the fact, not before I buy the items,
Yeah.
because I know that a box of German language books from the 1920s and 30s for $10 is a good deal, period. End of
Right.
story.
Sure.
I get home and I do the research on it. I'm buying the hot new thing. I'm staying in the Target, scanning things, trying to find out what things are worth and trying to find out what's worth buying and
Mhm.
what's the sales rank on Amazon? What is this? What is that? Or on those comics there, I'm sure that at least a couple of those comics that you bought when they first came out certainly weren't hot,
No, right.
and they
Absolutely. Yeah.
become hot. And so you've got to stay on top of it. I'm going to give you the perfect example in the older comics, the Bronze Age. There's a couple of issues of Eternals. When I was growing up, Eternals was
Oh,
garbage.
yeah.
That was a quarter box book.
Yeah.
Brother Voodoo's first appearance. That was so bad, and
Yeah.
that was so bad that I never even bought it out of the quarter
Right.
box, because I go, who would want this?
Yeah.
Now it's a $500 book,
Crazy.
and so on and so on.
Guardians of the Galaxy, another one.
So in order to stay on top of the shiny new thing, you've got to be doing a lot of research, and I don't have time to do that. So for
Yeah.
me, it doesn't fit into my business plan. For pure hustle,
Yeah.
he has to do that as far
Right.
as the retail arbitrage, because
Yeah.
he has to stay on top of it.
Well, and another thing for me too, if I spend $1 million this year, I'm not spending $1 million on shiny new things. It's a smaller percentage of, I may spend 400,000 on magazines, 300,000 on toys. So, my go-to stuff that I'm making good money on, or I would average it out like that one card deal we talked about with the red Coke trades, Coke trays. It could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if I'm buying this stuff at 50%, I'm buying that stuff at 10. So in the grand scheme of things, if you put all my cards that I bought, I could be paying 20% or 25, as a whole. So I look at it that way. It's just a small percentage of what I'm buying anyhow. So I'm not risking everything and putting all my eggs into one basket.
William asked a question: have we ever gotten into a bidding war? No, I
I don't
can't think
think
of
so,
any,
because
because
even yeah,
we tend to go to sales together,
right,
and he usually drives. So I could probably outbid him with my home equity line of credit for an item, and then I'm walking home. So, given
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but no,
I don't. Years ago, and we would always talk. We'd go together, and we would see
we were
things,
together,
and
yeah,
yeah,
and it
we
was
knew.
like I'd point
Yeah,
out to you, this is something good for you,
yeah,
this is something good for me, and we don't. I cannot think of anything that we collect
yeah.
that we both would want.
Then we. I don't think we've come across that opportunity, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, in other words, do I want a 35-cent Star Wars cover variant? Yes, I want it.
Right,
However, if I were at a sale with you,
mhm,
that's yours
right,
because you collect Star Wars.
right, right. Yeah,
If I'm at my own sale and you're not there, I
yeah,
buying it, I probably would keep it and sell it to you in a few
sure.
years or
Yeah.
something like that. Um, you know, are there old cards that you would want? Yeah, probably, but
I don't
you would
even,
step aside to
yeah,
let me buy
right. I don't
those
even
because
think
you know those would go into my
I'm not
collection.
collecting cards at this point. It's more comics and toys and Star Wars stuff like that. So yeah, I don't. But in the old days, even when we were buying at auction to resell, say you bought there was 10 box lots of magazines, you wanted three. I'd buy the end of row, the rest of it. Just because I knew I was getting them for pennies, I didn't care because I'm going to make money selling them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think we've really had any issues.
No, no, I don't believe so either. Not at all.
So Enforcer's buying cards at 30%. That's great. I probably buy most of my stuff at that price, averaging the $10 ones, the 20s, the 50s. But unless you're buying $100 to $1,000 cards at 30%, you're doing damn well then. Because it's for me, I find it hard to buy those high end cards at that lower percentage. But I would always try and offer that, but usually I get shot down.
See, and going back to the main topic over here, I think
Interesting. Is he being serious or?
that's a good idea. We'll try that next year. We'll try to have him say something funny next year. So you got an
I will try,
entire
yeah.
year to come up with something funny.
Yeah, remember our good friend that my buddy went to Syracuse football. He played football at Syracuse. He made a comment to me that I haven't been. This was 10 years ago. I haven't been funny since high school. Since then, I try to be extra funny, and I think it's working out well because he hasn't said it since in the last 10 years. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Good job.
proud
Good
of
job.
myself.
One of the things that I think feeds into people wanting to chase the shiny new thing is there are some people whose personality is that, and they get bored with things. I think that's one thing.
Mhm.
You get bored, and you're like, what I'm selling, especially what I'm selling, some extent what you're selling. You've also got employees and things like that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if you get bored or not. But what I'm selling, a lot of people would get bored with. I mean, especially, well, and again, I'm going to go back to it again.
Mhm.
Guess what? I bought it in an estate sale. Um,
German magazines.
books,
Books. Oh,
books.
you said there was some magazines in there, didn't you?
No, there are no
Oh,
magazines there.
Jesus, I gotta stop dreaming.
Um, but again, I've got to take them. I have to do Google Translate. It's old German, so the writing is hard to
God
read, et
bless
cetera,
you.
et cetera. Yeah, it's a lot of work putting it
Mhm.
into them. And a lot of people would get into like 2 books. They'd look them up. In fact, I did list 2 books, and they both were, $10 books on 8 books.
Well, now you're getting free foreign freebies from me now.
I am.
London News.
You
Yeah,
did me
yeah,
some illustrated London news.
I used to save them. Honestly, and we're never going to list them, so just give them to them.
Yeah, Mr. Magazine gave me 2 illustrated London news. Funny thing, one of them I already had listed, so I changed my quantity to
Oh,
2.
perfect.
So,
There's
um,
that.
but again, people would get those books, and they'd get into 2 of them. And again, I listed 2 of them. They're $8 to $10, $12 on 8 books.
Mhm.
You get discouraged, and you say, "What am I doing with these?" They go in the corner. You never touch them again,
Right.
because of that over there. My personality is such that I will go through them. I don't have to chase the new things. I mean, do I get bored with them? Yeah, I haven't listed them yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to take a day this weekend
Yeah.
and get those all listed. But if you go on Instagram or Facebook or any of those things, or other channels on YouTube, some other channels on YouTube, how are they doing with their businesses?
I don't go on them. So I really
How
don't
would
know.
you think that they're doing with their businesses? How many people do you think go on there and go, yeah, sales suck, and
No,
I
there's
really am terrible, and I bought a lot of bad
well,
stuff?
yeah, there's not a lot of people like that.
No.
If sales are sucking, we talked about the sports guy around the corner. He's never had a bad day in his life. Always doing great, and there's anything like it. But whether he does a show or his daily sales, off the chart every day. So
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah, and and some of it, of course, is just to get clicks, and some of it is maybe some of them do it to make themselves feel like they're successful, or
Right.
they're fronting, or whatever it is they happen to be doing.
Yeah.
They're flexing on others, whatever. Like how, yeah, I sound
Yeah.
pretty cool here. I sound hip now. But oh my God, I can't believe I did this. I bought this over here. I made you laugh for
Yeah.
once. I can't believe this. I bought these over here for $10.
Yeah.
I sold them all for $100. It's incredible. And you see person after person doing that.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at your numbers, your actual numbers, and you're saying, these people are all killing it.
Well,
I'm not killing it.
It reminds me of the gamblers that once a week or once a month they hit it big, but they don't tell you about those 3 or 4 days that they've been losing the shorts, up until that month. So
Yeah, right. But again, you see what they're doing, and then you say to yourself, geez, I'm doing it my way, and I'm only selling $100 a day, and these people are selling thousands of dollars every day.
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
And then you want to chase the shiny new thing because you see how successful they are.
Yeah.
And another part of it is, and I'm not swearing when I say this, I'm not swearing, it's FOMO. Do you know what FOMO is? You do?
Well, the F word?
No.
Oh,
Fear of missing out. Yeah. Fear of
I
missing
was
out.
thinking of something else.
I'm
Sorry.
sure you were. You're dyslexic and you had it backwards.
Yes.
But yeah, fear of missing out.
I get it now.
So you see everybody else killing it, whether they're in crypto, whether they're in NFTs, whether they're in whatever, and you're saying, oh my gosh, my friend told me that his friend, it's always a friend of a friend,
Right.
they just bought a brand new car with the money they made off this. I got to get into it. I got to get into it.
A Tesla, possibly from someone.
Well, except that's doable. We actually
Right.
could buy a Tesla off of the stuff that we sell. You do that, save up for it. We could definitely do that. Except they bought a Tesla in 3 weeks of selling this stuff, as opposed to building it up and showing you how they're doing it.
Right.
And so you're afraid that everybody's making money except me. I got to change what I'm selling.
Right.
And I'm telling you, don't do that.
No.
you can take a look at your numbers. We're more than willing to share our bottom line numbers with you as far as percentages and all that. And I've been doing this for years, and I will tell you that generally speaking, well, last couple of years have been a little bit higher because I've moved up what I'm buying. But back when I wasn't paying a lot for things, 16%. That's what my cost of product was year after year after year. So if I sold $50,000, I spent $8,000 on product. If I
Mhm.
sold 75,000, whatever 16% of 75,000 was, and so
Yeah.
on and so on. That's just what it was. My postage was this percentage, my
Right.
fees were this percentage. And it was year after year after year after year. My
Yeah.
supplies were this. And more than willing to share those with you on that. So that's the real numbers that you're going to have for selling things that we sell. The slower moving, older
Yeah.
items, but we don't pay anything for them when
Right.
you get down to it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that changed for me this year is the volume of those card boxes that I was buying. I just, as the months went on, I'd start buying more and more and more, and I'm making a small percentage, but it could be $100,000 more in my pocket than the year before because I'm doing it 10%, whatever I'm making off it. So it's worth me to, if those shiny things are worth it to me because I know I'm flipping them.
Don asked a question. I can't remember how long have you two known each other.
I can't remember either, Don. Please.
2, right?
Yeah.
No, 2, right?
2 decades.
Too long.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
hell.
Yes.
Maybe next year you'll be doing some humor in the show.
30 something years.
Probably not quite that long. At least 25. Yeah.
Well, if I was in high school, it'd be 30 years.
You're old.
You're older. Yeah. How did we meet?
Wow, this is turning into a like a dating show.
Yes,
The newlywed,
yes.
newlywed game. If they ask what your favorite color is, I actually he had the retail card store, and I went into the retail card store and was buying cards off of you. That's basically how it was, and
You're a good horse.
there you go. And then you were going to hire a mutual friend of ours, and then right the day he was supposed to come in, he decided not to
Yeah.
come in.
We're doing that big show, right? And then you stepped in for him for the show, and then continued to work for me after that.
So that's that.
Worked out well.
But yeah, do comment on your feeling of chasing the shiny new thing. And like I said, it's if you're doing retail, on Amazon, that kind of thing, you absolutely have to. There's no way around it. You can't deal in old stuff
Right.
and do that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that if you've got your niche and you're doing things the way that we're doing things, where you're paying 10 cents on a dollar on a lot of items and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
don't chase the hot new thing, because again, it's so easy to get burned, and you
Right.
can't always believe that everybody is doing quite as well as they say that they are.
Exactly. Yep.
And I think that's what it really comes down to. And I know when I was younger, one of my faults was that I believed everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very jealous of people. I'm like, how are they doing it, man? I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, and I was gullible, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and somebody would come by and flash big money. I'd be like, oh my god, he's doing so well.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Well,
took a loan out. Maybe who knows what he did.
You remember that card guy in the mall? He was younger with the big arms.
Mhm.
So like everyone thought he was like the hottest new thing. He had all this product, expensive cards in the case, customers galore. They did all the shows, and he lasted about 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
And then that other family in Webster,
Yep.
Everyone thought they were a hot new thing. They were great. Jordan this, Upper Deck that, and guess what? In the middle of the night, they closed up shop and
took off.
owed a lot of people money. They had consignment items from people. So, we're one of the few people that lasted 30 plus years, just like Yankee Clipper. He did just pass away.
Oh, he did.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
a
that.
week ago, right before the show.
Oh,
the
I'm
day
sorry to
before.
hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're closed up right now. I think the 2 daughters have it shut down. They don't know if they're going to reopen or try and sell out or sell it
Right.
themselves. So
Wow.
Yeah.
With your experience in selling over the year, if inflation continues to go up like it is doing now, should we expect our prices? Yes, absolutely. Oh, well, I don't know if we should expect them to go up.
There's a part 2 to that.
Oh, go ahead. Or will people expect prices to drop because buyers are not spending as much on collectibles and more on food and other necessities? I think that you definitely need to raise your prices, because again, at that point you are also have to pay for food. You have to pay for energy. You have to do all that. So you definitely gotta raise your prices at that point. And that would be where I would use the bulk listing on eBay to revise your prices upward a little bit, raise everything by a couple of dollars, I don't know what your price point is on things. Obviously, if your price point, you saw $100 items, moving everything up $1 doesn't do anything,
Right.
but I would increase my prices at that point just because of that. Because again, you're paying more for things. The only thing that I'm going to say about that um, is, and we may end up doing a video about this, is which is all news to you, is here's the crazy thing. Our price, at least my price for buying things, doesn't go up, generally speaking,
Right.
because a lot of people would just want stuff gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you go to Salvation Army or Goodwill or whatever, and yes, they've raised their prices on books. Their prices on books $2.99, $3.99, $5.99, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I don't buy from them,
Yeah.
generally
Right.
speaking,
Sure.
if I happen to be out near when I stop in. But if you're going to a garage sale, they're not going to ask $5 for a book. They're going to ask $1 for a
Right.
hardcover book. That's the going price.
Yep.
That's just what you pay on it. So that is the one thing, is that inflation isn't going to hit the secondhand things at garage sales.
Right.
Hopefully, at least not the older stuff. It's just not going to hit that. Hopefully. I don't pay much attention to sell-through rate because most of my stuff is going to sit for a while. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're selling clothing or new items, sell-through rate matters a lot more. Yeah, definitely.
I agree 100%.
No doubt whatsoever about that. Guess what time it is?
The ramblings. Hold on. Angel has something to say.
Okay. I price higher, but run sales and take
Just
offers.
like Mr. Magazine. Good job.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
I had to get a couple words in. It's been a while.
You wasted your joke.
No.
You're supposed to save that for 2022 and be funny then.
Fine.
So rambling story of the week. Actually going to change it up on here. I have something written down, or I'm going to do a different story.
Okay.
So I was driving a few years ago over on Dewey Avenue. And do you remember when they were doing the construction over there? And it was a nightmare. They had it basically, they kept closing the lane down because they were doing work on the road and everything like that. So I was driving from my day job. I had to get to my day job by 8:00. I always leave a little bit early, so it was about 7:30, and I'm driving. Well, all of a sudden, the flag person is out there stopping people. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So he stops me. Well, I was behind a construction truck, and the construction truck sits there and talks to the flag person for a couple of minutes, and it's like, this is 7:30 in the morning. People have to get places, and you decide now is a good time to sit there and talk about, hey, how's your wife and kids? Come on, people got things to do. So I'm not happy to start with because I'm stuck. You're never happy when you're stuck in traffic anyway.
Sure.
But now you're stuck behind them gabbing. So finally they wave me forward. Well, I start going forward, and don't you know, I run over, and I saw it as I was hitting it. A long piece of metal across the road. There was no way to avoid it. It was just a long piece of metal. And I go, oh, geez. And so, of course, I'm on the rocky road. Well, as soon as I got off the rocky road, I'm off through stones, and it's boom, 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 boom. Oh, geez. Well, I was over by, where 101 Mobility is now on Dewey Avenue?
I do, yes.
That used to be a
cemetery on the corner of it. Yep.
That used to be a gas station.
Yep.
So I literally pull into the gas station. I mean, it was the perfect place to have a flat. Literally pull into the gas station. And I said, you're not going to believe what happened. I just got a flat. Wonder if you could. So they changed my tire out. Well, the gentleman says to me, where did this happen at? And I said, right there in the construction zone.
Right. And
he said, you should put in against that because it happened because of the construction zone. Right. They've got insurance.
Sure.
He said, call the city. I said, okay, no problem. So I end up calling the city. It takes me a while to, it was one of those.
Story, I know. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Dial, push 1 4, push 2. It is the rambling story of the week.
It really is. True.
Push 1 4, push 2 4, push 3 4. So I finally get somebody in there, and I said, here's what happened. I got a flat tire in the zone on Dewey Avenue, blah, blah, blah. They said, oh, can't help you. State job. Contact the state. I said, geez. Okay. So I finally figured out how to contact the state. I actually contacted the contractor that was running it. They gave me the runaround, but I finally got their insurance company, put in the claim. So I end up getting a call back from the adjuster. Well, you said you got, flat tire. How do you know what happened here? Because I ran over a piece of metal in the middle of the job site. Yeah. Why did you run it over? Why didn't you avoid it? Because I didn't want to run over the flag person. Oh, well, how old was the tire?
Oh,
I said,
hoops. You gotta jump through hoops.
I don't know. I got the tire like a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you 75% of the price of your tire because that's what I do. I'm an adjuster. I said, okay, that's fine. So meanwhile, I had to make all these phone calls, do all this stuff. You know the upshot of the story?
Hmm.
They sent me 2 checks for the same amount.
Oh, good. 2 tires.
Nope, I sent the one back.
Oh, okay.
I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna commit insurance fraud over
Sure, yeah.
over $40.
Right,
I'll
right,
just
yeah.
send the other one back." I said,
Sure.
"Oh, I really wanna keep that second check, but I know I can't do that because that would be illegal." So that but just to let you know, if you do have a problem in an accident or in an accident zone, in a construction zone,
Yeah.
they do have insurance. I ended up getting my money back. You gotta jump through some hoops because they don't wanna pay you. But you can get your money back at that
Yeah,
point because
yeah.
it was no fault of mine.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
literally didn't clean the road,
Right,
you
right.
know, and it was very obvious what had happened.
Sure.
Got to say our last goodbyes to people
All
over
right.
here. Hey, 1987 Ventures. You never said hi to him.
All right. Hi, 1987 Ventures. How's it going?
Ah, there you go. He was
and
lurking.
lurking, listening, and listing.
Yeah,
So
and
the
they
3 L's.
and they do a lot of things over on Instagram. Do check them out on
Yeah.
Instagram, and they liked a lot of our videos
Yeah.
or our Instagram posts.
Ooh, vintage toy haul. Interesting.
There we go. All right, everybody. So do hit the like button if you haven't done so already. We definitely do appreciate it. We want to thank everybody for the support. Again, just to reiterate, check out Primetime Treasure Hunter, 5 random resellers hanging out. Sounds kind of interesting. Next week is your eBay store is not a garage sale. So do your homework on that one over there. But that one should be a lot of fun, I think. That should be a really, really good topic. Then the following week, the 29th, we'll be looking forward to 2022. And again, you've got more homework to do for that. So get
Yep.
your goals together for 2022. We're all going to share them here in the forum. And again, there's no better way to hold yourself to your goals than to say them in public. That really will help. You've been working on your goals?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Many goals. Yeah.
There we go. And then the 5th of January, we're going to do a retrospective back on 2021, how the year was, what we learned during the year, where we fell a little short during the year, and all that sort of thing. That should be a lot of fun as well. Do hit the like button.
Appreciate it.
Good night to you, Don, and good night to everyone else. And we will see you next week.
Take care. Bye-bye.